again to another edition of Seekers of Meaning, the TV show and podcast arm of Jewish Sacred Aging. I'm Rabbi Richard Adras, the director of Jewish Sacred Aging, and we thank you for joining us here in what we hope will be a very, very enlightening and interesting conversation. Many of you, I would imagine, on your trip to Israel with your rabbi or their federation or your friends or however you've gone, as you meander through the streets and alleyways of Jerusalem, perhaps have stopped at an organization called Yad LaKashish. And we are very, very honored to welcome the community relations manager, Julea Gasner, to our microphone and to Seekers of Meaning today to talk about exactly what this organization does, this Lifeline for the Old in Jerusalem, and to just share some of the experience of some of the differences of life for older adults in Israel as opposed to United States, North America, Canada, or wherever you may be listening or watching this. So, Julia, first of all, Baruch haba. Nice of you to join us. How are you? I hope you're healthy and well and safe and everybody's fine.
Thank you. Yes, we're healthy, we're safe, and just came through the wonderful holiday season, and everybody's great. And I'm so happy to be with you.
Well, good. Thank you very much again for joining us. First of all, let's get right to the heart of the matter. Talk to me about what Yad LaKashish is and where is it located?
Yad LaKashish is a nonprofit organization that is located in downtown Jerusalem, right steps away from the old city. It has been active since 1962, so we are just about to celebrate our 60th anniversary. We are in the exact same location, thank you, where we started all those years ago. We are an organization that empowers low-income elderly of Jerusalem. We bring them together, give them creative work opportunities, let them come together and work, learn new skills, be useful, be productive, have a meaningful routine. And in exchange for their coming on a daily basis, we provide them with economic and social benefits. We give them a monthly stipend at the end of every month. We offer a hot, nutritious lunch. And we give everybody a bus pass so they can come to work on their own. That's all part of the program. We want to challenge the seniors. We want to give them meaning. We don't want them sitting at home. We want them to come to us, to have friends, and to be active. And that's what they do 5 days a week, 8:30 to noon, every day. And they are coming rain or shine. It is amazing how these seniors, average age of 80, come every day on the bus, independently and with confidence, and really looking forward to being there.
Israel's a multi dimension society. So you, I would imagine, you have everybody from Russians to Ethiopians to a whole mix of everybody. Right. How does everybody sort of like mesh?
Well, that's a great question. When we started in the early 60s, the location right behind City Hall was a unique location. It was an area called Musrara, which was right along the Jordanian border in 1948. So for many years, it was open. People had moved out. There were lots of vacancies. And this was an area, although dangerous, where the government decided to put newcomers, and especially the Jews from the Arab lands who were coming in the early 50s and mid-50s, and they were settling in this neighborhood. And it was those people who Miriam Mendelow saw. Miriam was the founder of Yad LaKashish. She was a school teacher. And walking in the neighborhood with her class, the kids saw seniors sitting on the street with nothing to do, often begging, and not seem to be connected to a family or community. And she thought, we need to do better. Israel was a young country, and she had this wonderful vision of including the seniors, giving them back their purpose, giving them back their place in society as heads of families, and giving them something to do. And that's what she did. She started with 7 gentlemen. She opened a book bindery. We are people of the book. And she taught them the skills, and they came every day. They had a reason to get up. They had reason to get dressed. They felt good. They had lunch together, and they were a club, really. And then she could bring these students in with the tattered books from school to see these seniors at work and to develop connections, intergenerational connections. So not only do we empower seniors, we're also still, all these years later, bringing in young people to work with seniors to understand where they're at and to know them on a more personal level. Over the years, our population has changed. So now, like you said, we are mostly Russian, and we have Ethiopians. We have seniors from South America. We have one from France. We have one from America. So it's a mixed population, and they communicate and they get along because they're doing art. All of the products, all of our 9 workshops are art workshops. We have metal, we have silk painting, we have ceramics. And because people are using their hands, they can teach one another. They don't have to speak to instruct. They show each other, and people work together as teams, which is also part of our socialization. So people do get together. Friends tell each other about Yad LaKashish, and our recruitment is really word of mouth. And that's how people come to us, and they sit in groups. I mean, the Russians sit together, the Ethiopians sit together, but it's really a wonderful mix.
Just occurred to me, are there any other organizations like yours in other cities in Israel now?
There's nobody quite like us. We are the only Lifeline for the old, in that we pay the people to come and work. Most senior centers, you have to pay to go to activities, very much like in the States or Canada. But this is open to all low-income residents of Jerusalem. If they qualify as low income and they're over the age of 65 and they live in Jerusalem and can come to us by bus, then they are accepted and encouraged to attend.
The website, and real fast, tell us the website in case somebody wants to visit you electronically right now.
That would be wonderful. It's www.lifeline.org.il. And it gives you...
Yeah, one more time.
www.lifeline.org.il.
So on the website, somebody goes to the website, they're going to find this mission statement, which I think is very, very interesting. The mission is to give Jerusalem's needy elderly a sense of purpose, self-worth, and connection to mainstream society through creative work opportunities, essential support services, and a warm community environment. Obviously, this is right out of Jewish values of self-worth and dignity and human dignity. Talk to me a little bit about that line there, essential support services. What does that mean?
It means that without our help, without the help of our friends around the world, these seniors would not be able to afford their basic monthly bills, whether it's rent, food, clothing, or medicine. They are living on a very, very small stipend from the government. It's like an old age allowance. Our seniors are all immigrants. Whether they immigrated to Israel 30 years ago or 20 years ago, they shared the same experience of arriving in a country over the age of 60 without Hebrew. It was impossible to retrain. It was impossible to find a job. And many fell between the cracks. They had to take jobs that were cash jobs, perhaps cleaning or babysitting. They couldn't put any money away. They couldn't begin a pension because they weren't working at a full-time job. So now, 30 years later, their situation is deteriorated. So they're living off a very small old age allowance. And what we give them every month is about 30% of what they get from the government. So it really helps. And they're so grateful to be able to come to us and have this extra help. We also give them the bus pass. So we think, so what's $30 a month? But the $30 coming out of their budget is a lot. So with the bus pass, they can use it after work to go to see friends or family, shopping, errands, things like that. It improves their mobility. It improves travel, improves their attendance. So everything in the program is built in to help. In addition, we offer them lunch. Not everybody takes a lunch, but we offer a fresh, home-cooked, nutritious meal, which until COVID, we were eating together in a dining room, which again adds to the socialization of their day. But now they're taking the food home until the restrictions change. We also offer dental subsidies. So, as people get older, and our seniors range from 65 to 95, the average age being 80, dental problems creep up, and they need help with that. We also give them, yeah.
No. Go ahead. Finish.
I was going to say, we also, it was just Rosh Hashanah. We give them a gift for Rosh Hashanah. We give them gift cards so they can go out and buy what they need. So we don't assume they need food, but maybe they need a new blouse or something. So they go and buy what they need. So twice a year they get holiday gifts and they get a gift for their birthday. And we really are a family. We celebrate birthdays. We celebrate deaths, unfortunately, we have in the workshop from time to time. And we're really, they really look out for each other. And we look out for them.
I would imagine the language and cultural challenges are let's say, interesting, but also could be very empowering if people, as they form this community and family, share the different customs, ceremonies, and et cetera, because you're dealing, as you said, with people from all over the world who bring their own particular culture to that. I mean, do you have does that happen organically, or do you have programs to do that?
We don't have programs, but we have incorporated some art styles from different countries. So sometimes we create in ceramics. We're using the black clay that the Ethiopians used to use, and we make their style of pottery. In the embroidery workshop, we've included some Yemenite stitches, some Ethiopian stitches. So we try to include their culture that way. But mostly we work on products that are designed to challenge them, that are designed to be challenging but also easy, because everybody wants to feel a sense of success so that they can finish products. So the pieces are really designed with the seniors in mind. And in fact, with COVID, and when we were closed 3 times, we noticed that every time the seniors came back, that they had changed, that the inactivity, the isolation was quite had quite a negative effect on them. They weren't performing to the level, they were forgetful, and we had to change up a lot of our products so that they could get back into the swing of things at maybe a little bit slower pace or an easier pace, so that they would, again, feel like they were coming and really doing something. But we make beautiful handmade products, and everything, if you go on the website, you'll see it on our store on the website, and we ship around the world, and we would love for you to visit the store and pick something up.
All right. Well, you just took the next thing that I wanted to ask you right out, so that's great. No, that's great, because especially with COVID and travel restrictions changing like almost every week or every day, at least in the United States. If I wanted to say, I'm doing something and I want something original or different, and I just go to the website, right? Click on the store at the top of the menu bar up there on the top. And then you're going to show me everything that the people make, correct?
I would say that there's a huge selection. We have 9 workshops. We have metal products. We have ceramics. We have hand-painted silk. We have a lot of paper mache crafts, which are beautiful and easy to ship. We have greeting cards. We have tote bags, all these placemats, tablecloths, and everything to such a high standard. We have visitors who come in and say, wow, I can't believe what these 80 and 85-year-old men and women are sewing, and they're not wearing glasses, and they're doing the stitching, and it's beautiful. They're so determined to make these beautiful products.
So listen, and again, we're talking with Julea Gasner, the Community Relations Manager for Yad LaKashish in Jerusalem, Lifeline for the Old. Given the craziness of the pandemic, it just occurred to me as you were talking about this, and you said you ship, how difficult is it now to ship some stuff from Israel back to North America? Is the pandemic messing things up with the supply chains and everything?
No, shipping is still working really well at the moment. What is messed up is the tourism. Israel hasn't had tourism since March of 2020, pretty much.
Yeah.
And we really relied on groups. In the summers, we would have over 7,000 visitors, teens, youth groups, synagogue groups, federations, Jewish and non-Jewish groups coming from around the world to visit. And not only did it generate sales for us, but it's such a boost for the seniors to see people coming and to have people visit and say hello and take pictures and share stories. We get a lot of Russian kids on the birthright programs. When they come in and speak to our seniors, it's like heaven. So that really messed us up, and we're still waiting. This summer we had a lot of Israeli internal visitors. We were able to organize that, but from overseas, it's still quite quiet, and it's hurt our sales. Unfortunately, and the sales generate about 20% of our budget. Haven't been able to come close to that last year, and now halfway through this year, we can see where it's going to be a struggle.
So, talking about budgets, the program is funded through donations, just donations, or other grants.
Just donations. Well, yeah. So we're a private organization. We have no government funding, so we are busy applying for grants. Australia, England, States, and Canada. And many private donations and many federations. We have some wonderful friends out there who have been around since the 60s who still support us, and it's become a family tradition with some families to support Yad LaKashish.
No, I saw on the website, if you go to the website and you click on, I think there's a thing on the top, friends, or you can you'll see a lot of the federations. There's something else. I'm not mistaken, you'll tell me if I'm wrong, about either friends or sponsors. If there's an organization that hears about this and they say, this is something that we would like to investigate, how does one become a friend or a sponsor of the program? Is there a cost involved? Is there a suggested donation? How does that work?
No, all donations are accepted, no matter what level they're at. But in terms of sponsorship, very often we'll have synagogues contact us and say, we would like to give a gift to our bar and bat mitzvah kids. So they'll order tzedakah boxes. Maybe they'll order talit or a talit set for their bar and bat mitzvah kids. Sometimes a synagogue will want to celebrate life cycle events. We just had a synagogue in the Northeast order 180 hand embroidered chamsas, the good luck sign like that. And they give that out. Somebody moves to a new home or baby born or things like that. So in that way, those kinds of partnerships with organizations are very, very special to us. So it not only creates work for the seniors, but it lets their whole community in the States know who we are. So that's really a wonderful way. We've had opportunity to ship to gift shops in synagogues, a variety of material when they sell and things like that.
And so, given what... Go ahead.
I was also thinking back, we had a few bat mitzvah girls this year do programs. So one, in Israel, she came in with her mom, and they packed up treat bags for all the seniors who got lunch. And they brought in bags of goodies that we gave out. And she did it with her mother and her class. So that was her bat mitzvah party. So they prepared something and gave it out to the seniors. Now, that's harder to do when you're in the States. But we've had things like that. We've had kids can now set up a web page and do a little fundraiser, rather, to share their gifts with the other sheep if it's meaningful.
Let's assume that there may be a parent who may be listening to this or watching this, who has a son or daughter coming up for a bar or bat mitzvah. And they said, what I like to do rather than going to the whatever store, I like to go to Yad LaKashish and order 200 kippot for a little,
Right.
Sherman bar mitzvah, So
Right.
do you do that?
We do that. Yes, we do that. Given enough notice, we can do that. And understanding that, we have certain styles and certain patterns that we follow. But yes, we would love to do that. And all the contact information is on the website. And we are happy to discuss any ideas with parents or grandparents who might want to include us in the simple that way.
So, and a practical question, if somebody chooses to do that, and you mentioned enough time, what is the lead time? So, for normal operations, doing it and then shipping it to North America, what would a parent have to, because you never know, and, is it 6
You
months?
never
Is it
know.
5 months? 3 months?
I was going to say leave 5 months because shipping
Really?
is one thing and can get messed up. But if we have to make, 200 of something, it does take time. But that's not my area. But I'm happy to speak to anybody and connect them with the store or with the workshop manager to figure out how to best create a beautiful gift. Mm-hmm.
And if suppose
It's a great
somebody
idea.
who listens to this or watches this says, something, it touches me in a way. I want to do something to support the state of Israel and support the elderly in the state of Israel, and I want to write a check. Where do they? Is there a place in the United States, or do they have to send it directly to Israel, or can they do it credit card?
No.
Talk about that.
You can donate online. That is on our website. There's a donate button that will take a donation through PayPal. Also on the website is the address to send a check to our friends organization in Englewood, New Jersey. And if they do that way they will get an American receipt, a thank you letter, and the money then gets transferred to Israel on a monthly basis. So it's much better if they send a check to New Jersey or donate online. Mm-hmm.
And
I just want to stress that. Yeah, I can see you're excited.
No. Go ahead. Finish.
Yeah. No, what I wanted to tell a story from COVID, like some of the things we learned from COVID, because it wasn't all negative.
Go ahead.
Can I do that? Okay.
Yeah.
So during COVID, when it started back and we closed the workshops for the first time, we made a decision that we needed to continue our care and our connection with each of the seniors. And at that point, we were about 280 seniors coming every day. We recruited a group of volunteers. We had 60 volunteers, Russian speakers, Amharic speakers, Spanish speakers, to reach out and speak every day to one of the elderly so that they would know that they weren't alone and that we would hear their concerns and their needs. And our volunteers brought back all sorts of messages, food insecurity. People were worried about how they were going to eat without our lunch. And we were able to connect seniors to these emergency programs that were set up by the municipality of Jerusalem. But the greatest thing we heard was the anxiety of being at home alone and isolated with nothing to do for days and days and days. And people were really going crazy. And we said, all right, if we can't bring them to Yad LaKashish, let's take Yad LaKashish to them. And we started an at-home work program. And we were able to take materials to over 150 artists who could do things at home. And when the closures opened up, they brought back the work. Now, one of the things we did was the people who paint in the ceramic studio, we couldn't take ceramics to their home. So we said, let's try watercolor. It's similar, maybe that they can paint, freehand, freestyle, copy a picture. These men and women came back with the most outstanding, gorgeous watercolors that we have now incorporated as a full-time studio within ceramics because they have so much fun doing it. And the pieces are they brought tears to our eyes, that out of the despair and anxiety and fear came this light and this beauty, and that these men and women rose to the occasion and occupied themselves with the little that we could give them, and they were just so happy to return and to show us. And those pictures are definitely on the website, and that is a good thing that came out of COVID, if you can say that. Now we have watercolor studio, and we're teaching more seniors how to paint with watercolors. So it's new for them. It's challenging, and it's a beautiful, gorgeous product ready to be framed. We sell them. They're already with a mat, and all you have to do is frame them and hang them, and they're gorgeous. Scenes of Jerusalem, scenes of Israel.
Julia, obviously you speak with great love for the organization and for your work. I got to ask you, what drew you to this? Is there something in your own journey, your own personal spiritual journey, that made this connection to Yad LaKashish?
Nothing so deep. I mean, I've worked in the Jewish community. I started in Toronto, worked for Federation, spent many years doing all sorts of fundraising events for development, things like that. And in Israel, I was between jobs, and I looked for a place to do some meaningful volunteer work. And I remembered Yad LaKashish from the days of USY when we came to Israel and we visited. And I said, let's see what's still there. And it's the same place, and it looks the same. And I started volunteering in it. It worked itself into a job for me. And it's just great. It's small, but it's mighty. I mean, the people who come every day, you feel their resilience. You feel their optimism. The Russians were like, not scared of COVID at all. I mean, everybody has 3 vaccines, and we helped them ensure that they got their 3 vaccines, but they wanted to come. This wasn't going to stop them. They have been through some terrible, terrible history, the Russians and the Ethiopians, right to Israel, losing family on the way. And the Russians with the Nazis in Siberia and the death camps, said, coming here is like...
What's a little virus?
What's a virus? Right, exactly. They are so determined, and it really teaches you. You got to get up every day, have meaning in your life, and just smile and get on. They're great.
Does the country of Israel as a whole, how would you, since you work now in this field, how do they treat the elderly in the state of Israel? Does it still depend upon economics and social status for access to services and stuff?
I'm not an expert, but I will tell you that the social services are there for everybody. My mother, who is 97, lives with me, and she gets she made Aliyah 35 years ago from Canada. And she gets from Social Security here. And now she's in a different situation than the people who come to Yad LaKashish, because she came with some savings. But everybody here is entitled to the health care. Everybody here, especially the seniors, were the first ones in line to get the vaccines. That there are clubs in every community for seniors, with some that charge 20 shekel to come, some that don't charge. There are lots and lots of activities. There are lots of places, seniors' homes, where they bring in kindergarten groups so that the kids can play with the old people. And it's a wonderful, they had a whole TV series about it. They're doing more and more to keep the seniors healthy and at home and active. There are lots of opportunities today. There's day trips, there's all sorts of things. And the seniors, that do have pensions, I guess, live a little bit nicer lifestyle than those without pets. But seniors are active here to a very late in life. Like, they help. You see grandparents picking kids up at the kindergartens. You see grandparents babysitting, like younger grandparents. But it keeps them involved. People do retire here at 65, and for women, and 67 for men. And even when they retire, they still work. and they're very helpful in the family situation because both parents need to work in this country. So
does Yad LaKashish have an outreach program, public relate? I mean, it sounds so American. To really spread the word amongst congregations and organizations in North America?
We try. We try. There have been years where we have better connections than others, but we have some wonderful rabbinic friends. We see from year to year when we go to the conferences. We go to the Reform Movement Conference and the Conservative Movement Conference, and the CEO, sees people time and again, and we're trying. I mean, there's lots of competition for your charitable dollar in Israel, and we try to hang on to the good friends we have, and to spread the word through programs like this, and we appreciate it.
Well, the competition's not only in Israel; it's competition. There's a little competition here in the United States.
Yeah.
But anyway,
it's true.
Before we run out of time, and again, thank you very much. Give us the website and the contact information in case somebody wants to follow up.
The website is www.lifeline.org.il. And all the information is on there. Our email address, you can leave a message through the website. You can email us, and we get back same day. Of course, there's a time difference, but we are very good about getting back to people, and we love to meet and make new friends. We want to have you come visit us. We want you to think about having an event in your synagogue or community center. We want to see you when you come on trips. And it's been wonderful introducing Yad LaKashish to you. So
well, thank
we hope
you,
to see you here.
Listen, I'm sure I speak for many of my colleagues and people from Jewish Sacred Aging. We look forward to the opportunity of when things, God willing, calm down and we can get on an airplane and go.
Yes.
There's a lot of that pent up desire. I know from just talking to a bunch of friends of mine and colleagues. So, Haslacha, Toda Rabah, just stay safe, stay healthy. Julea Gasner, the Community Relations Manager for Yad LaKashish in Jerusalem. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Rabbi.
Stay safe, stay healthy.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Take care. And to all of you, thank you again for listening and watching this edition of Secrets of Meaning, the podcast and TV arm of Jewish Sacred Aging. And if you'd like to make a tax-free donation to help support our work and these podcasts, if you go to the website, jewishsacredaging.com, you'll find a conveniently located donate button. Click on that and just follow the prompts. It's painless, really painless. Secrets of Meaning is recorded at the studios of Lubetkin Media here in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. And a big shout out to our producer, Steve Lubetkin. I'm your host, Rabbi Richard Address, and we thank you again for joining us on this edition of Seekers of Meaning, and look forward to meeting you next week and our next Seekers of Meaning TV show and podcast. In the meantime, stay safe, everybody. Stay healthy. Stay well. Take care. Toda Rabah.